Hey everybody, I cannot wait to give you a preview of Dungeons of the Oak Dell. This might sound familiar, of the Oak Dell, because a while back I brought you the preview for Villagers of the Oak Dell. This is a sequel follow-up that is a print and play, but also is just super compact. You can see this box is really thin. I love how narrow it is. So what you do in this game is followed up with here with this very similar dice rolling system and then activation of 3 different things on a player's turn. But instead of being up out in the outside nature, building up a village, you are now down in a dungeon and you are coming across monsters and hopefully defeating them as you traverse this dungeon. So I want to show you what's in this game and what those major actions and core mechanics are. So what you'll do for a 1 to 2 player game, which I have set up here, is you're going to have 3 of these black dice and then 3 of the white dice. All of them are D6. You're going to have this activation board set up right here. You're going to have monsters of different levels and of course the boss that you're going to meet at the very end. You're going to have your player map that players are going to select the same one of, which there are several of those maps. You'll take a level 1 monster and then you'll take your character sheet. I've also got this fantastic sword dry erase pen along with my shield, which is my ruler. So yeah, there's going to be some drawing in this game. All you're going to do first is just roll the dice. This is going to start the game and start the round. So I roll them. And much like we did in Villagers, you're going to take these dice and you're going to match them to the color and the pip value. So I'm going to take that 1, put it there, got this white 4 and got the white 5. So these are going to be the dice that are available to players this round. And here we've got this round marker. Let me show you my player dungeon card. So this is going to be my dungeon card. These are going to be the amount of rounds that we have to navigate from the entrance here all the way around, going any which way we want. You can backtrack, you can go around, and of course you want to come here so you can activate the boss and then fight the boss and win. So there's a lot of cool iconography and fantastic potions and traps and wonderful things you can find here, but this is going to be where we are and what we're navigating. Now, let's say it's my turn first. I'm going to look out here at the dice, and I am simply going to draft. I'm going to take a die, and then I'm going to do the 3 associated actions that come with it. So let's just say I take this 2 on the black die, and I'm going to put it right here, and now I'm going to go through 3 steps. There is an outer circle of movement, and you'll see here that if you take one of the black dice, you're going to move much further than you do if you take the white dice, which are 1s and 2s. The next thing is this middle circle, and that's going to be the attack phase, and it indicates what particular color, and there are also symbols inside the colors that allow you to attack the monster that you're facing in the dungeon right now. You see this creature, this monster right in front of you in one of those many hallways. And then this inner circle is going to tell you exactly how the monster will fight back. And your monster has a variety of columns here. 1 is associated with the black die and 1 is associated with the white die. So what that means is that these monsters are not going to hurt you as bad, possibly. If you take the white die, it's a little safer than if you take the black die. There's the higher chance that they are going to hurt you and hurt you for more damage. So I am definitely risking it by taking that 2, but maybe it's because I want to come out and I want to fight with that yellow ring. There are a lot of factors that go into your dice selection. So when you take a 3 movement, because that's where the die is, you have to move 3. So you're going to walk inside of the dungeon and you're starting here in this space. And so let's just say I walk in, I go 1, 2, 3, and then I'm just going to end right here. That's 3 spaces. And I ended in front of a light that is in the hall. It's like a wall sconce. That's going to help me possibly defend against the monster. It's going to help me see a little bit better. So it's one of those advantages of being inside your dungeon. That's it. I just move. Then I'm going to take and see where the yellow dots are in my monster, and I'm going to take a ruler and I'm simply going to draw from one of these spaces right here, and I will draw to another dot inside of the hallway. And so I'm going to be doing this wanting to cross through a variety of items if I can. There are 3 upgrades, and there's also a key that I can do in addition to, of course, drawing a line straight through the monster, which is how you get hits on them. So the thing about this is I'm not allowed to look and do this before. I have to essentially see it. The only way that I can test it out before I make my line for sure is to utilize this yellow potion that I have, and everyone starts with the yellow potion. It allows you to test out and see for your entire turn what lines you want to draw and what exactly does it cross over. So there's a little bit of risk here. I'm simply going to draw, and I want to maybe try to capture some of these bonuses. So I'm just going to go from this yellow line to this blue line, and I'm going to just do the best I can. I'm just going to put my ruler on either side, and then I will draw my line, just like that. There we go. So not only did I cross through this creature's body, which is good, I also crossed through this line right here. So let me show you which one I went through and how that affects my player character. So again, I drew my line, boom, and then I got through his body, just missed that symbol right there, but I did get this one. And that one essentially lets me do an upgrade on 3 different tracks that I have on my hero. So nothing happens on the monster, no damage just yet. Damage is only done whenever you cross lines of yours. It's like you're doing not just a slash, but it has to be a slash where there is a crossing of those spaces. So I'm going to take this now, and I'm going to bring it over here so you can see it just a little bit closer. This is my hero, that's the health I have, and then this is the symbol that I just crossed through. So I'm simply going to activate this and say, I've got this available to me. Everyone's going to start with this, which does 1 extra damage when you strike the monster. This is going to help with coming out of the same dot that you have crossed, that you have entered or exited. Right now, I can't go to either of those spaces again until I use this. And this helps with defense. That's your shield. It's going to help you. We all start with one of those as well. Actually, I say we all start with them. Every hero is going to have some kind of unique asymmetrical start and special kind of actions. They are not all the same. So every hero board is going to be a little different. That's this. I went through, and that's going to be my middle circle, my attack phase. And now I'm going to come here, and the monster sees me and is going to attack me. So I'm going to roll, and if I get a 1-2, I take a damage. If I get a 3-4 or a 5-6, I'm going to take 2 damage because that's what my card says. Now, if I want to, I can use a lantern ahead of time. These are lanterns. Everybody is going to receive 2 lanterns. You just cross through one and you say, okay, I want to essentially give myself a little bit of a buffer. I want to be able to see further, which reduces their die roll by 2. But I'm also in front of a sconce right here on the wall, and that's going to reduce it by 2 as well. So let's just resolve that monster phase, and then my first turn is going to be over. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to roll this die, and I got a 5. Oh, that's the worst. So I take 2 off, and that essentially takes it down to a 3, which is still 2 damage. Wow, I'm going to deflect one of those damage and one of those hit points. So I take this and I mark through that 1 minus black heart, and it takes me just 1 hit is going to get through. So it wasn't necessarily as successful as I wanted, but I was able to essentially mitigate some of that damage. It just would have been nice to have the 4 minus 2 is 2. It takes me to 1 damage. I could have done essentially none by taking it down to 0. Okay, so that is going to be it for my 1 die. I take this and I put it in this die slot that's up here. And that means that 1 out of my 3 turns for this whole round is going to be done. The next player is going to look out here. I'm playing a 2-player just to show you what it's like. And they're going to essentially take the die that they want that helps them with movement, that helps them with the particular colored circle they want to use during their attack phase. And then, of course, they're going to be choosing whether or not they want to take the dangerous route with the monster with the black die, or the little bit more stable, less dangerous route with the white die. So that is going to be what we do. They take one die, let's say they take this die, then I go and I take this die, do my whole 3 stages again of movement, then I'm going to do my fighting, and then they're going to fight me. They go, and then let's say I take my 3rd die, and then I do all 3 things again, and I'm going to then have them take this die. That means that we are essentially done with that first round, and I'm going to pass this first player marker to the next player, and we're going to start into round 2. So this game is just a nice delve. It is a wonderful, juicy, fun game that I find is so engaging. I love all the stuff in the dungeon. So when you're here, you need to have keys in order to get into these chests. They're behind a locked door, but when you get into a treasure chest, guess what you get to do? You get to soup up your hero. You get to essentially unlock one of these special features. And all the heroes have a helmet, they have gloves, a chest plate, a sword and a shield, and shoes. But my character comes with this one already intact. I already have my gloves on. And so when I fight, let me take this back. This is fantastic. When I fight and the monster fights with the black die, I can have them re-roll it. So let's do it. Let's do that. I forgot that I had this character that let me re-roll with the black die. So they rolled a 5. Let's see if I can get a better roll than a 5. I got a 6. Okay. That was unsuccessful, and still the same exact damage would take place. You do have to take the results of that particular die, but the results are still the same with the 5 or 6. -2, and then I took that 1 hit, and I also deflected 1 with my shield. But this gives you a chance to upgrade, and when you get partner items, like your helmet and your chest plate, they give you a bonus. When you get your short sword and your shield, you get a bonus. There's also all these potions you can get, and you can spend potions on your turn. So as you're running around here, you can grab this potion here. You can come around and get this orange one over here. There's a yellow one, some green ones, a purple one. They're kind of all over the place. So it's wonderful. There's just enough to hunt for. When you come here to a fountain, you're going to essentially be able to heal, or in that case, what you do is you just gain more health. You gain more hit points. So there's ways to heal, there are ways to deflect. I love these tracks here because when you get a certain level of these bonuses on these 3 tracks, they're going to give you an associated bonus after the 2nd, after the 5th, and after the 8th, which is fantastic. The monsters keep getting tougher and tougher. And when you actually are striking through, let's say on my 2nd turn, I was able to make a line from here to here. What you're going to do when you fight those monsters is you are going to, maybe I did or maybe I didn't. Maybe I just drew, I think I went right inside his gut. So this is a great example of how I didn't actually strike his body. I made a line across, and while I did get this, just like I got this one earlier, I got this as my bonus for a defense shield, I didn't actually make a strike. So let me make one that is pretty definitive. I'm going to say this one. So let's say my 3rd turn I did this. I'm going to draw right here. And now, not only did I make 1 strike, I made 2. I go 1, 2 on his body, and then I'm going to essentially mark off 2 of those hit points. Once I have done 7 points of damage, I will receive 1 of those bonuses, and that's great. If for some reason I fill in all these spaces and I'm not able to make a strike on this monster, he's going to flee. So there is this time that you have to spend. You don't just get to stand in front of this creature forever. And this is a level 1 monster. So when you get into other spaces of the dungeon, you're going to get into more dangerous spaces. So when I look at this sheet here again, You'll see here that you'll fight level 1 monsters in this kind of lightly cracked floor color that's lighter. There's this yellow squared tile space, and that's where you're going to be meeting level 2 monsters. And then level 3 monsters are in this kind of diamond hatch, purple or pinky space over here. So the further you go into the dungeon, the more dangerous things get. And of course you want to reach the big boss at the end. There are traps along the way, and you definitely want to stay in those spaces. You're essentially stopping to disarm them. If you just walk right through them, they will give you damage. And there are ways to pick up some more torches. And of course, there's your marker there for when you go to the Fountain of Youth, you're going to get 2 health. So this has so much replayability, so much to offer. And I know that as part of the campaign, they are going to be including more monsters, more heroes. Now, before I go, I just want to show you a couple more of these monsters and how wild and weird they are. So a couple in level 1, you can see there's this wild bat. And there is a chance to maybe even get an extra potion here. But this bat, I mean, come on, how are you? This is going to be really tough to essentially find those crisscrosses. But then again, what about this guy? This guy is wild and weird, and look at that tongue. Absolutely just bananas. You come around the corner, you're never expecting to see these kinds of creatures. And then here is this one. I mean, how, again, this is wild. So many really, really cool monsters that show up in this game with a variety of requirements. Maybe there are even special rules. I know as you get later on into the dungeon, there are going to be some possibilities. It looks like you've got, okay, that's right, two skeletons here that you're going to be coming across. So one is going to give you this prize, one is going to give you that prize, and you need to essentially find those marks where you can cross through them on this. This guy's tied up, but he has special rules when it comes to crossing through the chains. And so when you make those marks through the chains, they are possibly going to hurt you. That's that heartbreak. That's going to be your damage that you take. And then here's this one too. This has some more interesting rules. When you put crosses where your actual lines cross through each other on those wings, which are the really, really big parts. But again, you want to put the crosses from line to line here through the body of the monster. So those are just a couple, that sneak peek of level 1 and level 2. There's so much more fun stuff to come with those level 3 monsters and the boss monsters. I just think the heart of this game is really in this dice rolling, and then on your turn, you move, you fight, and then the monster fights you. It's just really engaging. It is loads and loads and loads of fun. So I can't say enough good things about Dungeons of the Oak Dell and how it really gives me that dungeon delve without being too big of a game or being too light or silly of a game. This game hits right there in that sweet spot. I think it's just a really, really nice, delightful dungeon delve. And again, that heart of the game, this mechanic here, is in Villagers of the Oak Dell. I think it's clever, and that's one reason why I was really excited to get the preview of this game, because it uses that same core mechanic and that very similar turns where you activate multiple spaces of this ring, the outer, the middle, and the inner ring. Great stuff here. Definitely check it out. And that's going to be it for me this time, folks. I'll see you later. Bye.